So in this video, we'll look at the solution for exercise 4. So let's say question number 1. First, use the definition of differentiation to find the differentiation of fx for the function when the fx is given as square root of 2x plus 5. First of all, the question mentioned about using the definition of differentiation. So sekiranya soalan minta kita guna definition of differentiation, then we need to use the formula. We cannot directly differentiate this function. Kita tak boleh terus differentiate. So dia dah mention dah by using definition of differentiation. So now come to the next question. What is the formula? So the formula for definition of differentiation is f prime x, means that after we differentiate, this is equals to limit when h approach 0 for the function of f x plus h minus fx over h. So this is the formula. First, we find the formula for fx plus h, fx, and then over h. So this one, let's say fx. So fx is given, which is equal to square root of 2x plus 5. So this is question number 1. So what is fx plus h? F, let's say I use another color, which is x plus h. So how are we going to substitute this one? Some of the students were confused how to substitute this one. So the correct way is, if here is x plus h, before this is x, sebelum ni x, sekarang x plus h. So dia akan jadi 2 and then put a bracket. This is x plus h. Close the bracket and then plus 5. X ni kita ganti dengan x plus h. Some of the student, mistake done by the student. Student yang ada masa dia buat salah, fx plus h. Apa yang dia buat kat sini, dia kata adalah square root of 2x plus h plus 5. So, salah kat mana? Salah kat sini. Dia tak letak kurungan. Dia letak 2x plus h. This is wrong. Sepatutnya 2 in the bracket x plus h. So, this is the first one. So, don't do this mistake. Now, we just substitute into the formula. F prime x will be equals to limit when h approach 0. So, fx plus h will be our square root of 2 in the bracket of x plus h plus 5 minus fx. Fx is given as square root of 2x plus 5 and then over h. So this is the limit that we learned before, which is limit involving radical function. Limit involving radical function. In this type of question, we have 3 types. If you still remember, kita ada 3 bentuk dalam ni. Ini salah satu bentuk di mana how we going to solve this one? By multiply the conjugate. Kita kena darab conjugate. Means that 2x plus h plus 5. Before this is negative, sekarang dia akan jadi positive. Square root of 2x plus 5. Same as the denominator. Sama saja dengan denominator tu. So, square root of 2x plus h plus 5. And then here is plus. In between here is plus. And then square root of 2x plus 5. Then we just expand. Kita cuma kembangkan tempat yang ada conjugate. We let the denominator. For the denominator, kita salin balik. Numerator, kita expand. So, how are we going to expand for this one? Limit. Oh, sorry. This is x, is not h. This is h, not x. H. Limit when h approach 0 for the numerator. Square root, bila darab dengan square root dia akan hilang. So, what we have here is only 2x plus h plus 5. This one. minus this part. Bahagian tengah ni dia akan cancel out. So what we have here is we have just expand the last part here. Square root multiply by this one. Negative, positive, negative. Square root darab dengan square root. I will have it is 2x plus 5. Denominator ni salin balik. H in the square bracket, let's say, square root of 2x plus h plus 5 plus square root of 2x plus 5. So this is the denominator. And then we expand and simplify. Don't forget, we need to expand and simplify. So if I try to expand here, I get 2x plus 2h plus 5. This one, 2 times x, 2 times h. So 2x plus 2h plus 5. So here will be negative 2x minus 5. Minus 2x minus 5. So be careful with the sign. Negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, negative 5. Yeah. So over here will be h. Yang bahagian bawah ni bukan conjugate, tak payah kembang. X plus h plus 5 plus square root of 2x plus 5. So from here, limit when h approach 0. So this one we can cancel out. 2x minus 2x plus 5 minus 5. What we have in the numerator will be 2h over h in the square bracket 2x plus h plus 5 plus square root of 2x plus 5. Close bracket. Again, we simplify the h. Ringkaskan h ni. And then finally, substitute the h with 0. So we have 2 over square root 2 in the bracket x ni x plus h. H ni ganti dengan kosong. Substitute with 0. And then plus 5 plus square root of 2x plus 5. Simplify again. 2 over square root of, this part is 2x plus 5. Plus square root of 2x plus 5. If square root plus square root means that kita ada 2 square root 2x plus 5. It's just like I assume that this square root is an apple. Let's say for example. Let's say this is an apple. An apple, square root is an apple. Assume that square root is an apple. Apple plus another apple means that we have 2 apple. So where the apple is the square root of 2x plus 5. Kita bayangkanlah square root ni adalah satu apple. Apple ni tambah dengan apple, maka kita ada 2 apple. Di mana apple ni merujuk kepada square root of 2x plus 5. So that's why we have 2. Sebab sometimes pelajar dia keliru kan menjadi 2 pula, sir. Bukan kuasa 2. Jadi ini tambah, plus. So apple tambah apple, 2 apple lah. Di mana apple tu adalah square root of 2x plus 5. And then this one, saya padam balik apple tu. So again, I can simplify. Don't forget, simplify dia jadi satu. Here is 1. So the answer will be 1 over square root of 2x plus 5. So this is the answer. By using, remember, this is definition of differentiation. This is how we do it. So this is question 1. Now we move to question 2. Use the definition of differentiation against definition of differentiation. Find f prime x for the function of fx is equals to 7 over 1 minus 7 over 1 minus x. So what is our fx plus h? So here is 7 over 1 minus Don't forget to put a bracket. X plus H. Kena letak kurungan. Kena wajib You have to put a bracket. Then we substitute the formula. F prime X is equals to limit when H approach 0. Fx plus H minus Fx over H. This is the formula. And then I substitute the fraction, limit. When H approach 0, the function for Fx plus H will be 7 over 1 minus X plus H. Minus 7 over 1 minus X. This is the Fx. Ini Fx plus H. Gantilah. Over H. So, untuk kurangkan kekeliruan, yang ni saya pindah ke atas dulu. So, I will have, here is limit when H approach 0. First part is 7 over 1 minus X plus H in the bracket. Minus 7 over 1 minus X. Multiply by 1 over H. So, now I just concentrate on this part. Yang biasa pelajar buat tu adalah darab bawah, darab bawah, atas darab bersilang. If you still remember lah. So if not, saya nak buat. So sini, in here, denominator, we will look at the right hand side, which is 1 minus X. So what I do is, I multiply by 1 minus X. Sini pun darab dengan 1 minus X. The same thing here. Bila sampai sini, I will look at the left hand side, this one. 1 minus X plus H. Multiply for the numerator 1 minus X plus H. Kenapa saya buat macam ni? Supaya kita ada penyebut yang sama. So that our denominator are the same. After that, we can combine. Kita boleh combinekan dia. So, next will be limit when H approach 0. So, the numerator is 7 in the bracket 1 minus X. The denominator, I put a square bracket. The denominator, 1 minus X. Put a square bracket here. 1 minus X plus H. This is the first part. Tutup. Minus 7. Put a square bracket. 1 minus X plus H. Sorry for this one. A round bracket. Okay. Over. My denominator is 1 minus X. Square bracket 1 minus X plus H. You can see here, times 1 over H. Don't forget. So this one you can see, we have the same denominator. So what happens when we have the same denominator? We can combine it. Apa yang jadi jika kita ada denominator yang sama? Kita boleh gabungkan dia. So next, I try to merge this one. So 1 over H, bila saya darab kat sini, I will have my H here. And then 1 minus X. They share the same denominator. 1 minus X plus H. Don't try to expand the denominator. Jangan cuba pergi kembangkan. Nanti jadi lagi keliru. So, kita cuma selesaikan numerator saja. So, for the numerator, let's say I remain in this one first. Supaya kita tak keliru. Kita combine kan? Okay. Okay. Now, I combine it. Then, I expand 1 by 1. So, please stay with me. This one, multiply by this one. Negative 7 times this one. Negative 7 multiplied by the in front of this bracket. Saya belum darab dalam lagi. So, 1 by 1. Jika cepat sangat, nanti kita keliru. Limit when H approach 0. 7 times 1, 7. 7 times negative X, negative 7X. Negative 7 times 1, negative 7. Negative 7 times the negative bracket. So, it's positive. Sini positive. Hati-hati. 7 in the bracket X plus H. Saya belum kembang lagi. Saya cuma darab kat depan bracket saja. H, 1 minus X. In the square bracket, 1 minus X plus H. Especially this part Yang ni. Ramai pelajar suka salah kat sini. This one. Negative 7 times 1, negative 7. Negative 7 times negative. Dia akan jadi positive. Okay, right. Then expand lagi this one. So limit when h approach 0, 7 minus 7x minus 7, 7 times x, 7x, 7 times h, 7h, over h, 1 minus x, 1 minus x plus h. So again, we can cancel out positive 7 minus 7. Negative 7x plus 7x. What we have here is 7h only. Oh, sorry. H approach 0. The numerator will be 7h. The denominator will be h, 1 minus x, in the square bracket 1 minus x plus h. Close the bracket. So we can cancel out the h. So what I have here is I can straightforward substitute the h approach to 0. So sini 7 over, sini tak ada h, tak payah ganti, 1 minus x. Here we have h, 1 minus x plus h is 0. Oh, sorry. H is 0. Close bracket. So what I have is 7 over 1 minus x, 1 minus x. So what happened is 1 minus x times 1 minus x. Apa akan jadi? Macam tadi, just now, assume that this is apple. What happened if apple times apple? So we have apple squared. Because apple kita tak ada kuasa 2 lah. Just an example. If x apple plus apple to apple. Apple times apple, apple squared. Okay. So for this one, we should have 7, sorry. We have 7 over 1 minus x squared. So this is the answer for question number 2. So when come to the conclusion, if the question mention about definition of differentiation, then we just use the formula. Sekiranya soalan dia menyatakan definition of differentiation, maka barulah kita guna formula ni. Then we use this formula. Jika soalan tak mention, dia tak minta, tak payah guna formula ni sebab it takes time. When come to the calculation, it takes time. Dia mention, then we use it. Jika dia tak mention, kita straightforward differentiate. Boleh So straightforward differentiate, we'll learn this later. So if they mention, baru kita buat. Jika tak mention, tak payah. So we can straightforward this one, you can get. So that's all for this class. That's all for the discussion for this exercise. This one is exercise 4. So thank you and see you.